Good morning, everyone. This is Father Nate, missionary priest in Italy, and thanks for joining us today, August 22nd, on No Greater Delight, our podcast on Marian feasts and Marian meditations. Well, today we have a very important celebration. We celebrate the Queenship of the Blessed Virgin Mary, right? So the Queenship of Mary, Mother of the King of Kings, is a concept that is both spiritual and political. That's what they say here. Especially in times of crisis, as Pope Pius XII wrote, believers take comfort in the faith that Mary reigns with a mother's solicitude over the entire world, right? And throughout the Christian era, leaders have proclaimed, you could say like a sort of, it says, leaders have proclaimed an alliance with the Queen of Heaven to bolster their spiritual or secular power. Okay. Maybe we'll just ignore that phrase. It says that as early as the 500s, the Roman Church of Santa Maria Antiqua had a fresco that depicted Mary as a crowned Byzantine ruler, right? When Pope John VII was pope from 705 to 707, he added several images of Maria Regina to Roman churches. By the thousands, devotion to Mary as queen had spread throughout Europe, right? There was the hymn Salve Regina, attributed to Blessed Herman, Brother Hermanus Contractus, who died in 1054, which apparently became the anthem of crusades. Salve Regina, Mater Misericordia, etc., etc. In the 1100s, you have images of the coronation of Mary in heaven, which begin to appear in churches, Catholic churches, and manuscripts. And so, especially when you have a feudal fiefdoms and giving way to royal realms and the European monarchies, there was a popular devotion to Our Lady as Queen, right? In 1636, the Vatican began to authorize the canonical coronations of Marian images, right? Inspired by the cure of a woman with tuberculosis, Maria Morbidelli, at Lourdes in 1933, the Servite priest Gabriele Roschini began a movement to urge the Church to establish a liturgical feast of Mary the Queen, as it had for Christ the King in 1925. Now, this group, the Pro Regalitate Mariae, for Mary's queenship, spread from Rome throughout Italy and then around the world, pushing especially for the Vatican to act in the Jubilee year of 1950. In 1954, when he declared a Marian year, Pope Pius XII issued the encyclical Ad Caeli Reginam, authorizing the feast of the Queenship of Mary on May 31st. After the Second Vatican Council, in 1696, Pope Paul VI changed the feast day to an optional memorial on August 22nd to improve the liturgical order of Marian feast days. Right, the Feast of the Visitation was moved from July 2nd to May 31st, closer to the Annunciation, while the Feast of the Queenship was moved to the octave of the Assumption, right, consonant with the glorious mysteries of the Rosary, in which the final mystery, Mary's crowning, follows that of her rising to heaven. We're also told that today the Franciscans celebrate the 7 joys of Our Lady. So that, a huge feast, Mary as Queen, is really what we're celebrating today in the Marian world on August 22nd. For today's Marian meditation, taken from the book by Father Ildefonso Villar, we read the third and concluding point of Meditation 67. This meditation is entitled In Calvary, or on Calvary, the third word, and this last point is, Behold thy mother. If the first words were sorrowful for mother, that is, behold thy son, the second were sweet and consoling for us, behold thy mother. So we now have a mother, and what a mother! A mother forever that no one will ever snatch away from us. God has placed the mother in the world that she may be everywhere, that she may everywhere be the most eloquent incarnation of his providence and his love. Man needs a mother. The greatest misfortune that can befall us is to lose our mother. Without her, all is empty, all is sad. Nobody can fill her place. Nobody can substitute her. Jesus embraced his cross with all its sufferings up to the separation from his mother, but bequeathed her to you that you may never be an orphan. And this blessed mother will never fail you. How true is that? After we have lost our mother, then especially do we feel the need the stronger of her maternal care. How can we thank Jesus for all that he bequeathed us from his cross? How generous. To the thief he gave a kingdom, to us his mother. What were the feelings of John on hearing this? Calvary was turned into paradise for him. How well did Jesus reward him for having been faithful in his love, and followed him up to the cross. He climbed Calvary a disciple, and came down the son of Mary and the brother of Jesus. How joyfully did he enter into possession of this rich inheritance? So rich it is that God had no one greater in heaven. Apply all this to yourself. You can also say, the Mother of God is my mother. Since the Word of God is quickening and efficacious, it achieves what it means. Mary is verily your mother, and loves you with a love equal to the love she bears for Jesus. You must also be in truth a real child of Mary, and so you must love her as Jesus loved her. You have an obligation to be similar to Jesus, so as to be a worthy child of such a mother, so as to be his brother. It is only natural that brothers should be very much alike. Compare yourself with him, and in all humility and shame ask pardon for the many times you have not loved your common mother, for the many times you have disregarded her with your behavior. Ask this mother that, although you might sometimes forget to be her son, she might never forget to be your mother, and never abandon you.
Hello, and we hope that you enjoyed listening to our Marian podcast. In the spirit of Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, we say to you that there is no greater delight than to spread the devotion of Our Lady. We hope you share these sentiments and encourage you greatly to share with a loved one. Know that you are always in our prayers, and we ask that you keep us in yours. God bless.